This is about the most candid I'm ever going to be when it comes to a Falcons episode. So bear with me during this trying time as a Falcons fan. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and the first thing that I want to do today is I want to apologize to you Falcons fans, not only for watching what that was yesterday during that game, but I want to apologize because as your host, I have tried to give you guys the most positive outlook on this team. I've had takes that didn't quite hit this football season, and I just kind of want to go over some of the things that I said because I do believe you deserve better. I believe you guys deserve better from a football product. I think you deserve more honest and candid conversations about the Atlanta Falcons, and you need that from me as well. So let's talk about some of the things that I've said. The first thing that I said after the Bills game was the Falcons deserved respect. Clearly, that's not the case anymore because not only did you get blown out by your division rival, the Carolina Panthers, in a game that I thought couldn't get any worse, but then you absolutely get shellacked by one of the worst teams in the NFL with absolutely zero fight in the Miami Dolphins. The second thing that I said was the Atlanta Falcons have an elite defense. They clearly don't have an elite defense. They've got a really good secondary. They get gashed against the run every single week now. They've got no true nose tackle up front. They've got no big-bodied presence. They've got a very interesting blitz package and a very interesting pass rush from Jeff Ulbrich with a lot of different designed blitz schemes. But outside of the pass rush that sometimes is hit and miss and a really good secondary, the run defense is abysmal. And then, of course, I also said that we were too harsh on Raheem Morris. Clearly, I was wrong. And I apologize for that because I wanted to give you guys a positive outlook on your team, but there is nothing positive about this team. In fact, Mark Raimondi was talking to Raheem Morris yesterday at the presser. And Raheem Morris said, it was tough to discuss anybody's play when how you play that way. It was bad across the board. I actually agree with this statement, but not because it's the right statement. It's because it is tough to talk about any player's bad performance because the entire performance was on you. Is this a joke, Raheem? Like you said in the very next sentence, we weren't prepared for the Dolphins today. This is actually an insane statement. You weren't prepared for the Dolphins, a 1-6 football team who quite literally were talking about selling everybody, cutting their quarterback, firing Mike McDaniel, and you weren't prepared for them. It's almost like you don't do shit during the week. Like, what does your practice look like? What do you guys do at the whiteboard? What do you do from a play calling scheme? I mean, it is an utter embarrassment to call yourself an NFL head coach by admitting that you weren't prepared for one of the worst teams in the NFL. It's actually insane. So I'm going to ask you this question. This is going to be the overall question of the episode. Should the Falcons fire a coach this week? Any coach, doesn't matter. Fire a coach this week. Preferably it's Zac Robinson or Raheem Morris. Maybe it's both. If so, hit that thumbs up icon for me. So let's talk about a little bit more about what we saw in Week 8. The Dolphins entered Week 8 as the last rushing defense in the NFL, allowing 159.3 yards per game. They clearly knew that they were a bad run defense. You clearly knew they were a bad run defense. And yet, the Falcons prepared for Bijan Robinson. They took him away and they said, what else you got? And it was almost like you said, oh, well, I didn't think I'd make it this far. That's kind of like what we were hoping to do was get Bijan activated. I mean, just look at the stats you put up against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. 213 total yards, 4.3 a play. It's a joke. It's a joke. 17 carries for 45 yards, 2.6 an average with Bijan and Tyler Algier, which is an unbelievable 1-2 punch. I mean, you are an absolute laughingstock if that was your main goal and you didn't have a backup plan. They asked Bijan about his kind of feeling on the offense. And he got really open about it. And he said, this is my third year. I don't want to keep saying we played low on Sunday and high on another Sunday. Consistency has been the biggest thing for us as a team, and that's what needs to be preached. Meaning they're not preaching it. They're not. You're going to lose Bijan if you're not careful. A player can only get so tired of the same thing over and over and over again before he says, I got to get out of here. I got to save my career. Saquon Barkley said the same thing about the New York Giants. Look at him now. Look at him now. Everybody was talking, the Giants will never get rid of Saquon. He's their best player. Shit happens. And you know what? As a host, like this is my job to cover the team, but as a fan, I feel like this meme. I walk into every Sunday expecting something that's not going to look good, and then ultimately it gets worse. It gets worse as a Falcons fan. And Colin Cowherd, who I've never been the biggest fan of his takes, I think he's a great broadcaster. I think his football takes are kind of laughable sometimes. He actually put this out yesterday on Twitter. He said there's always been about a 50-50 chance that if a team shocks you on Sunday, good or bad, it's the Atlanta Falcons. Except it's not a shock to Falcons fans. It might be a shock to the rest of the NFL, but Falcons fans deal with this all the time. Quite literally all the time. And again, it is just something that we cannot continue to support. Somebody's got to call something out. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to keep hounding the table for something to change until it actually changes. Hell, we started the Fire Raheem and Zac Robinson petition yesterday. I'm going to show you what it looks like and how many signatures we've already got later on today in our next episode coming up later. I'm going to continue on my rant, but first I got to tell you about something that's actually good, and that's HelloFresh. Listen, fall is officially here. And when it comes to cooler nights, heartier meals, and the craving for something warm and satisfying, HelloFresh comes in a big way. It brings you comforting, chef-designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. This season, they've taken things to the next level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a whole new way to do dinner. It is healthier. You can feel great with even more healthier menu items like high-protein and veggie-packed recipes. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies. It's also tastier. You can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every single week for no extra cost. There's a reason that 91% of customers say that they feel healthier when eating with HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. All of that's in the comments and description of today's video. You should have this photo saved in your archives because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I focused a lot on Raheem in that first part of the episode. Now I'm going to focus on Zac Robinson because he should have been fired a long time ago. If you continue to defend Zac Robinson and blame the players for the scheme issues and the offensive not scoring, I don't take your opinion seriously anymore. I don't. Because if I said to you out loud, the Falcons have Drake London, a certified number 1 wide receiver. They've got arguably the best running back talent-wise in the NFL in Bijan Robinson. They've got a top 10 pick in Michael Penix Jr., who granted hasn't been great, but hasn't been the reason that you're losing football games. I can't take your opinion seriously if you think that Zac Robinson is not the problem. Because Zac's offense doesn't really feature anything remarkable. In fact, there's not anything that he does well. Oh, but he does do a lot of these things. He does use the least amount of play action in the league. That's a check mark. Oh, he's also got very predictable play calling, like the announcers called yesterday when he took Bijan Robinson out of the game and ran a wide zone scheme run on 3rd and 1 to Tyler Algier. And the announcer said, it's going to be a run to Algier. They're in the pistol. And then also, like I said, taking your best player off the field. He's really good at that. He's really good at that. I mean, he's an absolute chud, man. He doesn't get football. He doesn't. He's got one foot out the door. He's defensive in his press conferences. And believe it or not, here's a real stat for you that the team put out on their website. This is no joke. The Falcons had 11 total first downs against the Dolphins, which tied for the fewest in a game since 2008. They converted 2 of their third down attempts for a season low 18.2% success rate. I mean, you can't make this shit up. And I know there's going to be 1 or 2, maybe 5 of you that are down there. It's like, Moose, you're being over dramatic. The injuries. We didn't have Drake London yesterday. We didn't have Penix yesterday. We didn't have Bowman yesterday or Jalon Walker yesterday. I get it. The injuries don't help. But I will echo exactly what I told you yesterday. If you are going to sit here and tell me that the problem was injuries yesterday, you are fooling yourself, because the San Francisco 49ers are the most injured team in the NFL, and they continue to win football games. They continue to win football games. Mac Jones is like 5-2 this season. The injuries should not be an excuse for the piss poor, bitch-ass performance you put on the field yesterday. And honestly, if you're going to jerk off Zac Robinson, at least go home and do it with a moist towelette. Like, don't do it on the field. Like, can you just stop? Like, stop defending your bitch-ass offense. Stop defending this ridiculous pistol scheme. Stop telling us that what you do from a handoff perspective and a snap point is going to work at some point. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can't put points on the board. You're going to get slaughtered the next 2 games if something doesn't change. Not just lose. You're going to get slaughtered. You play 2 of the best teams in the NFL right now. The New England Patriots are arguably the hottest team in the NFL, and the Indianapolis Colts are playing like literally the best team in the NFL. Good luck. Good luck. And again, like I said, I apologize for the things that I have said in the past. I honestly have to take a look deeper into this team, and I have to give you guys more accurate and honest conversation about the Atlanta Falcons. And speaking of honest, here's my honest take. We could sit here and talk about how they need to get fired. Here's what I actually think will happen. I think after the Germany game against the Indianapolis Colts, I think both of them get tossed. I think they both go out as a pair. I think they're done after that. If the Falcons move to 3-6 and absolutely get shellacked 3 games in a row, you will see a change. You will see a change. It should happen now, but I think this is when it happens right here. If you still love the breakdowns that I'm giving you, if you still are a fan of the channel, if you're still a fan of the team, if you're still a fan of talking about your Falcons in an open and honest way, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and type me if you made it to the very end of today's video. I wish I had better news for you. I wish I had a glimmer of hope. I wish there was a diamond in the rough or light at the end of the tunnel to talk about something positive that could let us looking forward to next week, but there isn't. Not right now, at least. I'm going to take off. I'm going to do some more research and talk a little bit more about why I think these 2 dudes should be out the door and working at Subway. But until next time, rise up and be cool.